Let's get the ugly part out of the way first. I destroyed my sister's dream job. I didn't just reject her application. That would have been clean. No, I let her get the offer. I let her go through 6 rounds of interviews. I let my own team celebrate her. I let her have a full 24 hours of pure joy, calling our parents, posting it all over social media. I let her stand on top of her mountain. And then I called my head of human resources and told her to rescind the offer. Effective immediately. The end result wasn't just her losing a high-paying position. It was the complete and total detonation of my family's entire fake reality. A reality they had spent years building. A reality where I was the designated failure, the family charity case, the toxic one. It turned out the person they pitied was the one signing the checks. And I was the one holding the match. This whole thing didn't start with a big family screaming match. It started with a notification. Just a stupid glowing rectangle on my phone. I was in my office. The glass one, on the 34th floor. I was reviewing quarterly projections that were heading toward a 9-figure valuation. My company, the one I built from nothing. I was in the middle of approving a new benefits package for my team. That is when my phone lit up. It was a social media tag. From her. My sister. I almost ignored it. I usually did. Her online life was a constant performance of drama and vague complaints. But something about the preview text made my stomach clench. I clicked it. It was a long post. A 3-paragraph essay. It was one of those self-righteous manifestos about the importance of self-care. About setting boundaries. About how some people never grow up, never take responsibility. And then the final line, finally blocking my toxic sister. Family is better without her drama. I just sat there. My pen was still hovering over the budget report. I looked out at the city skyline. I could see the river. Everything was silent. Below her post, 43 likes. 17 supportive comments. Mutual friends. Our cousins. Even our aunt. So proud of you for choosing your peace. You're right, some people just drain you. Good for you, she was always trouble. 26 years of being the irresponsible little sister. 26 years of being the problem child. And here she was, publicly labeling me as poison. My hands weren't shaking. This is the important detail. They were perfectly unnaturally still. I placed my pen down very carefully. That is how I knew I wasn't just hurt. I was done. You see, she had no idea who she was talking to. She had no idea that the toxic woman she'd just disowned was the CEO of the very company that had, just yesterday, offered her the marketing director position she'd been desperate for. The job she called her dream. I didn't respond to the post. I didn't argue. I didn't text our mother. I picked up my desk phone and dialed my HR director. Hello, Jennifer. My voice was calm. Too calm. It is Alexandra. Wait. I'm breaking the rules. You don't know me. I'm not Alexandra. I'm just the person this happened to. The names don't matter. The dynamic does. I called my HR director. I need you to rescind the job offer we extended yesterday. The one for the marketing director role. Silence. My HR director is brilliant. She is tough, fair, and she helped me build this place. She knew my voice. She knew this wasn't a normal call. Can I ask why? She said very carefully. Her references were perfect. The team loved her. Is there something wrong with the background check? A conflict of interest just came to my attention, I said. What kind of conflict? She is my sister. I heard her take a sharp breath. Your sister. Her last name is different. We have different fathers. I use my mother's maiden name for the business. This was a detail I'd kept private. A clean separation. Having a family member isn't necessarily a problem, my director started, trying to find a solution. She doesn't know I own this company. I cut her off. She has no idea. My entire family thinks I'm a struggling freelance web designer. My director sat down. I could hear her chair creak over the line. She doesn't know you're the CEO. My family, I said, looking at the skyline again, has no idea what I do. They think I'm playing with computers in a tiny apartment. They think I'm barely scraping by. That is impressive. To keep that private for 3 years. It wasn't intentional at first. I just never corrected their assumptions. They liked pitying me. It made them feel better. I turned my phone screen toward her when she walked into my office a moment later. I showed her the post. She read it. Her expression went from confusion to shock to a very cold understanding. "Oh," she said quietly. "Oh. Wow. I cannot have a senior employee," I said. "A director-level executive who publicly calls me toxic. I cannot have someone on my leadership team who believes the world is better off without me. Even if she doesn't know she is talking about her bosses." "That creates a problematic dynamic," she agreed. "She is an HR professional." That was the understatement of the year. "Call her. Tell her the position has been eliminated. Budget restructuring. A strategic pivot. Whatever you need to say. Make it clean. Are you sure about this?" I looked at the post again. Family is better without her drama. "I'm sure," I said. She made her feelings about me very clear. She nodded. "She is a professional. It is done." Now, to understand why I did that, you have to understand the foundation of my family. For my entire adult life, I was the failure. I was the cautionary tale. I dropped out of college because I saw a bigger opportunity. I took my $50,000 in savings, money I'd earned myself from freelance coding, and I built my company. What started as just me in a cramped apartment has grown. We have 37 employees now. We clear 8 figures in annual revenue. We're one of the fastest-growing tech agencies in the region. My family knew none of this. To them, I was the college dropout. The artsy one. The one who gave up. They never asked about my work. Not really. When I mentioned landing a new client, they'd nod sympathetically. "Oh, that is nice, honey." Then they'd change the subject. They saw my talk of business as delusion. Or boasting. My sister, she was the responsible one. She had the real job. She worked in traditional marketing for a mid-sized firm. She made $65,000 a year and she lectured me constantly. I remember last Christmas. She cornered me by the dessert table. Her voice was dripping with that fake, concerned pity. "You know, it is not too late to go back and finish your degree. This computer stuff isn't a real career path. You need to think about your future. About retirement plans." I just smiled and nodded. I didn't mention that my little freelance projects were generating more revenue than her entire department. I didn't mention that my future was already secured. The irony was, she is actually good at marketing. Really good. So when my company started looking for a new marketing director 6 months ago, I recommended her. Anonymously. I fed her resume to my HR director and said I'd heard good things. She went through the entire process like any other candidate. She competed against 47 other applicants. She nailed every interview. My team loved her. She earned the position. Yesterday, my HR director called her with the good news. $95,000. Full benefits. Equity options. The chance to lead strategy for one of the fastest-growing companies in the city. She was ecstatic. She called our parents. She posted on social media about landing her dream job at an innovative tech company. She had no idea she'd just been hired by her toxic sister. 30 minutes after I gave the order, my HR director knocked on my door. "It is done." How did she take it? She was devastated, my director said. Her face was neutral, but her eyes were sympathetic. She cried. She asked if there were any other opportunities. I told her we'd keep her resume on file. I nodded. Thank you. I watched her Facebook activity escalate over the next few hours. The celebration post was gone, replaced by a new one. Devastated. The job offer was rescinded. They said it was budget cuts. It feels like the universe is testing me. The comments poured in. The same people. That is awful. Stay strong. Their loss. You're brilliant. And then, the shift. It started with my cousin. This is why you were right to cut your sister out. Toxic people bring bad luck. Even when they're not around. My jaw dropped. It got worse. Another relative, maybe this is a sign. Her negative energy is affecting your life even from a distance. Good thing you blocked her. I was now officially a curse. My negative energy had somehow reached across the city and eliminated a job position at a company I had no connection to. This is the first lesson for you. This is the pitfall. When you are the family scapegoat, you are responsible for everything. You are the black hole that bad things orbit. Your family soon needs CD, you to be the failure. It simplifies their world. It gives them a common enemy. It makes them feel secure in their own, often mediocre, choices. My sister's success made them comfortable. My failure made them comfortable. They had their roles. But the real world doesn't care about your family's script. At 3 p.m., my mother called. Her voice was already trembling. I just saw her posts. She lost that job. She is so upset. I saw the posts too, Mom. I kept my voice flat. She thinks, honey, this sounds silly. But she is looking for someone to blame. She thinks maybe you somehow jinxed it. She is blaming me for her job being eliminated. Well, she has been having a hard time. When people are stressed, they look for scapegoats. So I'm the scapegoat for her career problems. Alex, please. You know how she is. Oh, that phrase. You know how she is. That is the battle cry of the enabler. It is the magic sentence they use to excuse abuse. It means her behavior is fixed, but your reaction is flexible. So you need to be the one to bend. Mom, did you see what she posted about me this morning? A pause. I saw something about blocking toxic family. I assumed you two had gotten into another argument. We didn't argue. She just decided to publicly announce that the family is better off without me. My mother was quiet. Alex, I'm sure she didn't mean it personally. I almost laughed. It was a dry, choking sound. How do you not mean blocking my toxic sister personally? She used the word sister. You know, she posts dramatic things when she is upset. It is just Facebook. So it is okay for her to call me toxic, but I'm somehow responsible for her job falling through. Maybe you could reach out to her. She is having a really hard time right now. I felt my blood run cold. This was the trap. This was the cycle. She attacks me. My mother smooths it over. I am expected to absorb the hit and then apologize for getting blood on the carpet. Mom, she literally just blocked me and announced the family is better off without me. Why would I reach out to her? Because you're sisters. Family is more important than social media drama. Is it? Because she seems to think our family is better without me in it. Alex, don't be petty. I'm not being petty, Mom. I'm respecting her clearly stated wishes. I hung up the phone. At 5 p.m., I was packing my briefcase. Ready to leave the office. My phone buzzed. A text message. From my sister. This surprised me since she'd claimed to have blocked me. She must have just typed my number in manually. The text read, Alex, I know we're not talking, but I really need someone to vent to. The job I was supposed to start on Monday just got eliminated. Can you call me? I stared at the message for a full minute. My fingers were actually tingling. It was that fight or flight feeling. The sheer, unbelievable audacity. She publicly executes me. Calls me a disease. Tells the world they are better off without me. And then, when her life goes sideways, she reaches out to Sidemim for emotional support. This is the second, and most important warning. Pay attention. If someone in your life treats you as disposable, but expects you to be available, they do not see you as a person. They see you as a utility. A tool. Something to be used. a free therapist, a shoulder to cry on, an emotional punching bag. When you are useful, you are tolerated. When you are not, you are toxic. I texted back. I thought you blocked me because I was too toxic. Her reply was instant. That was just Facebook drama. This is real life. I really need my sister right now. There it is. The great dismissal. That wasn't real. She gets to decide what is real. Her post, with 17 supportive comments from our family. That is just drama. Her job loss. That is real life. She wanted to define reality. And in her reality, her actions have no consequences. Emma, you literally posted this morning that the family is better without me. Why would you want support from someone you described that way? I'm using the name. I'm sorry. Let's just call her my sister. It is colder. It is more accurate now. She texted, Alex, that wasn't about you specifically. I was just venting about family stress in general. A lie. A pathetic, transparent lie. I took a screenshot of her original post. Blocking my toxic sister. I sent it to her. You specifically said, sister. How is that not about me? You're being way too sensitive. It is just social media. I'm really struggling right now. Can we please not do this? She was cornered. So she attacked. I was too sensitive. The classic defense. So when you need something from me, it is just social media. But when you wanted to humiliate me publicly, it was an important act of self-care. Alex, please. I really need you. Emma, I think you were right this morning. Maybe the family is better off without the drama. I blocked her number. For real. Then I went home, opened a very expensive bottle of wine, and got the first good night's sleep I'd had in years. A week went by. A week of silence from me. A week of increasingly desperate posts from her. She had it turned down 2 other offers while waiting for my company's dream position. Now, those offers were gone. The family narrative continued to blame my negative influence. On Thursday, my mother called again. Alex, she is really struggling. She is worried about rent. She is wondering if maybe you could ask around in your computer network. See if anyone needs marketing help. I laughed. I actually laughed out loud. My computer network. You know, the people you do web design for. Maybe one of them needs help. Mom, you want her to ask for help from the toxic sister who brings drama and jinxes her career. Alex, she didn't mean that seriously. She is desperate. She seemed pretty serious when she wrote 3 paragraphs about it. Family helps family, Alex. Does it? Because she made it very clear that I'm not really family. She said the family is better without me. You're being stubborn. I'm being consistent. She wanted me out of her life. I'm respecting her wishes. The following Monday, a new post from her. I've been thinking about family lately. The importance of not burning bridges over temporary frustrations. Sometimes we say things that don't reflect our true feelings. I want to apologize to anyone I may have hurt with my recent posts. A vague public, non-apology. It didn't mention me. It didn't admit fault. An hour later, I received a text. Alex, I posted an apology. I know I was wrong to say those things. I was stressed and frustrated, and I took it out on you unfairly. Can we please talk? I decided to call her. It was time to finish this. She picked up on the first ring. Her voice was wet, shaky. Alex. Oh my God, Alex. I'm so sorry. I was having a terrible week and I took it out on you. Emma, what exactly were you stressed about? When you wrote that post, before you lost the job. Work stuff, mostly. And I was frustrated with family dynamics. What kind of family dynamics? I kept my voice like glass. Just feeling like some people in our family get more support than others. You think Mom and Dad worry about my career? Yes. She burst out. They're always talking about how you're not living up to your potential, how you need more stable work, how they worry about you. And you don't seem to care. My stomach dropped. I realized the truth. She wasn't resentful of my failure. She was sighted jealous of it. She was furious that my perceived struggle was getting more attention than her actual, moderate success. She needed me to be the failure, but she also hated me for the attention that failure brought. You see that as a problem. Alex, I'm not trying to judge. I just think you're really smart. You could probably do amazing things if you found the right opportunity. What kind of opportunity? Maybe working for a tech company. Or a marketing agency. Something that uses your computer skills but gives you more security. I had to end it. This was surgical now. Emma, I said, my voice perfectly flat. The job that got eliminated. What company was it with? Meridian Tech Solutions. They're this amazing digital marketing company. They're growing so fast. The CEO is supposed to be this brilliant young entrepreneur who built the company from nothing. Sounds impressive. It really was, she whispered. The salary, the benefits. It would have been a huge step. I took a deep breath. Emma, I need to tell you something about that job. What do you mean? Meridian Tech Solutions. It is my company. The silence on the line was not just quiet. It was a vacuum. It was the sound of a universe collapsing. I counted. 30 full seconds. What? She finally whispered. It was a tiny broken sound. I'm the CEO of Meridian Tech Solutions. I founded the company 3 years ago. That is impossible. That is a lie. You're a freelance web designer. No. I am the CEO of an 8-figure digital marketing agency with 37 employees. The company that offered you the marketing director position. Alex, that doesn't make sense. You live in that tiny apartment. I choose to live modestly. I prefer to reinvest profits back into the business. You're serious. Completely serious. So, when you applied for the job, you were applying to work for your toxic sister. Another long, crushing silence. I heard her make this small, choking sound. Alex, I had no idea. I know. I said. That is exactly the problem. What do you mean? For 3 years, Emma, you've dismissed my work as playing with computers. You've lectured me about getting a real job. You've treated me like the irresponsible little sister who can't get her life together. But I didn't know. She cried. You didn't know because you never asked. You made assumptions about my life without ever bothering to learn one single detail. You preferred the story where I was failing. If I had known you owned a company, I never would have. Would have. Would have what? I pushed. Treated me with respect. Emma, the fact that you only respect me now that you know I'm successful. That says everything. She was openly sobbing now. Alex, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The job offer. You rescinded it. I rescinded the job offer of someone who fundamentally disrespected the company's CEO. You called me toxic. You said the family was better without me. But I didn't know it was you. That is the point. I was shouting now. I couldn't help it. My voice echoed in my office. It is see that you didn't know. You treated me poorly when you thought I had nothing to offer. You were cruel because you thought it was safe. You thought I was powerless. Now that you know I'm successful, suddenly you want my forgiveness. That is not fair. Isn't it? This morning you thought I was a struggling freelancer who brought drama. Now you know I'm a successful CEO, and suddenly you want my help. Alex, what can I do to make this right? Emma, I don't know if you can. This is the ultimate lesson. This is what you must take away from this. Your character is not how you treat your equals. It is not how you treat your boss or the people you want to impress. Your character is how you treat the people you believe have less power than you. How you treat the barista, the intern, the janitor, or the family member you've decided is a failure. My sister failed that test. She showed me exactly who she was. She was a person who would publicly humiliate someone she thought couldn't fight back. But we're sisters, she cried. Are we? Because this morning, you thought the family was better off without me. I was wrong. I was completely stupidly wrong. Yes, you were. But being wrong and getting caught are not the same as learning a lesson. What do you mean? I mean you're sorry, Srinaw. You're sorry because you found out I can help your career. But if I was actually the struggling freelancer you thought I was, would you be apologizing? She didn't answer. That was the only truth she told all day. That is the problem, Emma. Your respect for me is conditional on my usefulness to you. We ended the call. This wasn't a movie. It didn't fix itself. She spent the next few weeks in a very dark place. But she did something unexpected. She started volunteering. A local nonprofit that helped unemployed professionals with job search assistance. She started posting about it. Not in a look-at-me way, but in a thoughtful way. She wrote about helping a man who'd been a VP, now struggling to find work. She wrote about a young woman trying to start her own business and how much courage that took. She was, for the first time in her life, seeing people. Not as rungs on a ladder, but as people. 3 weeks later, she called me. Alex, I've been thinking. You were right. I've been reflecting on how I've treated people. The barista I was rude to. The intern I dismissed. I was projecting my own insecurities onto people I thought were beneath me. It was a start. We had to tell our parents. That was the second bomb. We drove to their house together. We sat them down. I told them everything. The company. The revenue. My role as CEO. I showed them the website. The press coverage. They sat in stunned silence. Alex, my dad finally said, "You're telling us you own an 8-figure company." Yes. And you've been running this for 3 years. While we've been lecturing you about getting a real job. Yes. My mother started crying. Honey, why didn't you tell us? Because, I said looking at her, I wanted to see how you'd treat me when you thought I had nothing to offer. My sister spoke up. Mom, Dad, she is being polite. The truth is, we've all been dismissive toward her for years. We assumed she was failing. We preferred it that way. But we were just trying to help. My dad protested. Were you? I asked. Or were you trying to manage me? Did you ever ask me real questions? Or did you just assume I was failing and try to fix me? They were both quiet. I love you, I said. But you spent years treating me like the family disappointment. You should have trusted me. We're sorry, my mom said. We're so proud of you. Are you proud of me? I asked. Or are you proud of my success? Because there is a difference. That is the lesson I had to learn, my sister said. I was only proud of her after I found out she was successful. I should have been proud of her for taking risks. We are rebuilding. Slowly. It is awkward. My parents are now almost afraid of me. They ask questions about my business with a reverence that feels just as fake as the pity did. My sister and we're developing a stronger relationship than we ever had. It is based on brutal honesty. I never rehired her. That is the final consequence. You don't get to burn a bridge to the ground and then get angry when you can't cross it. She found another job. It is a good one. Not as good as the one she lost. She learned her lesson. But the price was high. So here is my warning to you. If you are the successful one, watch how you treat people. Your respect must be unconditional. And if you are the one they've labeled toxic or a failure, stay quiet. Work hard. Build your own success. Don't correct their assumptions. Let them live in their fantasy world. Because assumptions are a trap. And one day, the truth will come out. And the truth, unlike my family, doesn't care about your feelings. The most powerful position you can be in is the one where you no longer need anyone's approval. My success didn't just buy me a nice office. It bought me the power to hang up the phone,